gentlemen, and everyone in between, welcome to the Five Nights at Freddy's podcast. We are back with episode 2, and last time in episode 1 we went over FNAF 1, all that fun shit, you know, with that. But today we're going to be talking about FNAF 2, and we're joined again with the Healy and Fred.
Hello!
Hello.
Hi.
Right, are you guys excited for FNAF 2?
Yes.
Yes. I need to play it now.
I need to play it now. These two want to play the games again now, so...
Yup.
This is what happens, that when you get converted into the FNAF religion, you want to play the games again.
Yup.
Yep. Don't worry, we've all been there. But yes, FNAF
After
2.
you talk about it for a while, yeah, then you just want to play it again.
Yeah. But yes, FNAF 2 is this was when things really took off with the series. Like, it was popular to begin with, because like, wow, this is so different. And then the fact that FNAF 2 came out so quickly after FNAF 1, people were like, whoa, holy crap. So, very, very quick. And, yeah, it's very, well, it's, I guess you could say, obviously gameplay is sort of similar, but it's just more chaotic, I guess would be the right terms of words. So, but other than that, I think we're ready. Are you ready to get into the history of FNAF 2?
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect.
I'm so excited.
Let's get straight into it. So, episode 2, FNAF 2. Right, the history. FNAF 2 was released in November of 2014, only 3 months after the first game. Some people believe that Scott easily made the game in the span of 3 months, while others believe that he was making the game during FNAF 1, and that if FNAF 1 failed, there was a chance he would have released FNAF 2 anyway. Scott confirmed that during FNAF 2's production was a very hard time in his life, and while this game was a massive success, some say more than FNAF 1's success, he doesn't wish to relive the memories. His main aim for this game was for it to be chaotic, which is why there are about 11 or 12 characters rather than 5. So, yeah, literally 3 months after FNAF 1, FNAF 2 was like, hey, what's up? So,
Another?
That's so fast.
very quick.
There's so many new character designs too, which is surprising.
Yeah, I imagine that he was working on it a lot.
Yes, very, very quick. And obviously, like I said, he had plans for it to be chaotic from the beginning. So, thanks, Scott.
Yup. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you. You're so sweet. Oh my gosh. But yes. So yes, I think we'll get into the gameplay. Yes, I don't have much, but I did the best I could. So, right.
It's perfect.
Yeah. Right. So, as stated, the sequel was chaotic, with no doors saving you this time. Just a mask, a flashlight, and cameras was all you had. Each night you would see more and more robots. The mask was your way to protect yourself from the robots, as they thought you were a suit. However, 2 could avoid that, being Foxy and the puppet. Getting rid of Foxy was a simple flashlight spam, and the puppet had another simple way, was just winding up its music box. As the game opens, we see a scene of the FNAF 1's location. As we look through Freddy's eyes with Bonnie and Chica on our sides, the scene ends with a simple error. As the game opens, we hear a familiar voice. Phone Guy was alive. He was welcoming us to our new summer job and giving us the instructions on how to survive. He states the new toys had a facial recognition software to protect children, but for some reason, it started going wrong. Phone Guy also mentions an older location, that it was left to rot due to an incident, but it doesn't get explained further. As the night progressed, we got more FNAF 1 location scenes, including ones with the puppet and the infamous Golden Freddy. Beating this game is pretty much the same as the first, however in Custom Night, you must do 1020 mode rather than 420, where in this case, Markiplier stated it took him 9 whole hours to beat it. Now, in the game you are named Jeremy Fitzgerald, however after Custom Night, you are someone named Fritz Smith, who got fired on his first day, and got fired for the same reasons Mike did in FNAF 1. So, yeah. Very, it's like, how done? Can you imagine, you open the game, right, and you have the mindset of like, phone guy's dead. You get the call and you're like, wait, you're alive? Excuse me?
Huh? It's the same guy.
Hello?
Like, what?
Welcome back.
Hi? Welcome back to the land of the living? You lived? How did you survive this?
Yeah. Or maybe we're dead. Either way, nice to hear you.
Yeah, nice to hear from you. How are you?
Living life?
Hopefully.
Yeah, but yeah, so it was a very interesting thing with specific cutscenes. Like when you first open the game, you'd be inside Freddy, and you'd look left and right, and you see Bonnie and Chica on the sides, and then you get like an error. And I think sometimes the error would say like error, or it'd have specific words. I can't remember at the top of my head what they'd be. And then sometimes you'd have Bonnie and Chica actually looking at you, and then you'd have like either Golden Freddy or the puppet like looking in your face. I was like, oh, lovely.
Not creepy at all. Not scary at all.
No, lovely. But yeah, there was lots of new things that happened within this game. Obviously, you had a flashlight, a mask, and you had no doors. And so the only way to save yourself was with a flashlight or a mask. So, during the development of FNAF 2, there was a thing called the toxic meter, and that was when if you had the mask on for too long, like a toxic meter would go up and you have to pull the mask off. Obviously, that was changed, and Scott said he changed that by having a music box instead for the puppet. So
I like that a lot more.
Yeah, because he doesn't want that whole, you don't want to keep the mask on forever. So he's like, okay, I'm going to change this by putting in a music box instead. So you have to force yourself to take the mask off to check the music box. So I think that's a lot better. Like, it's a pain in the ass because the puppet can be an asshole. But
Plus the music that plays for the puppet and the music box in general is just kind of an interesting and a fun mechanic.
It's a very, very, very fun thing. But it's also a little unsettling when you fail and you hear the infamous music. You're like, fucking goddamn it! You're dead. You're screwed. Kiss your ass goodbye. But yeah, so there's the toys, obviously. And then you've got your wizards, and then you've got, as I call them, the mischieviousts. So you've got Balloon Boy, and the puppet. The toys were the ones that you'd start dealing with first, I think, in the first night. So you just get them, they'd come say hello. Because at first you'd think, okay, I'll probably just get like one or two, but I think you get like all three of them in like the first fucking night. And it's like, wow, okay, thanks. So yeah. So Bonnie and Chica, I think they're actually similar to Toy Bonnie and Toy Chica are similar in like FNAF 1. So Bonnie would kind of hang on the left side of the area, and then Toy Chica would hang on the other side of the area. Toy Chica actually takes her beak off, and like she pulls it off, and she's walking around with her freaking black eyes with the white dots, and you just see her endoskeleton teeth.
Oh, I don't like that.
Right? And people used to try and theorize like what happened, like, oh, who took her beak, or like, why is that? And Scott said the reason why he did that was because she didn't look creepy, unlike normal Chica. Like she's just, you see her out in the distance and you see her there looking at you. She don't look creepy, so he thought of taking the beak off made her look creepier. So
that makes a lot of sense.
It worked.
And it's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
It worked. Like freaking.
Oh,
You
terrifying.
just see this chicken just on the stage, this pretty gorgeous chicken, because Toy Chica is absolutely beautiful. And then you see her off the stage and you're like, oh my god, she's gonna murder me. Like,
Yep.
I'm gonna be the chicken nugget now. So, so yeah, then in night 2, I think that's when the infamous Withered Foxy comes out. He comes out to say hello. It's just him though, I think. Obviously with Balloon Boy as well becomes active. Balloon Boy and Withered Foxy are best friends, pretty much. So they kind of work together. Where so Foxy obviously wants to come into the room and you got to flash the light at him to get him to go away. But if Balloon Boy gets into your room and he laughs his fucking ass off, you can't use your flashlight anymore, and that's the way for Foxy to come jump scare you. So, like, Balloon Boy just takes your fucking batteries. He's an asshole.
Yeah, right. I loved all the animations of him just cheekily taking your batteries and running away like.
People made so
Oh,
many
gosh.
funny animations for that. Like, beautiful.
So good.
Beautiful. Fun fact, Balloon Boy was known as the most hated character out of the series for a very long time.
Wow.
Like, people couldn't stand him.
I can understand.
I could
Yeah.
too. Like, just this kid taking my batteries and now he's laughing at me? Like, piss off! What the heck? Asshole? Like, bruh. So yeah, then night 3.
Hello.
Night 3, I think, is when obviously some of the older models come in as well, like the other Withereds. I don't know if all of them come out straight away. I think at the top of my head, Bonnie and Chica do at least. I don't know if Freddy comes out straight away. So, and obviously you got Mangle as well. They're coming around a bit as well. They're a pain in the ass because they just freaking crawl on the walls and you hear their radio like the whole time. They're another one that you can flash as well from a distance, but if they're in the vent as well, you can also use your mask, so they're kind of both. I mean, all of them are kind of like flashlight and mask, but because some of them are more, fuck the flashlight, they'll just come in anyway and just use their flashlight. Like you just use your mask. So and then obviously 4 and 5, just they all come out and start being aggressive. So yeah, then you got night 6, which is very, very aggressive night. That's very difficult. We'll get into night 6's little thing in the lore section because there's a bit of story with night 6. But this is when Golden Freddy comes out. Golden Freddy is an actual character that will actually come out and attack you. Like, he ain't no longer a rare piece of freaking lore that's just gonna happen, very rare chances. He actually comes out to say hello. It's like, oh.
He doesn't need to.
He doesn't need to. He doesn't need to. He's like, no, just stay back there. Stay back there.
Hey, you were fine where you were.
Yeah, he's a bit of a pain in the ass. I remember when people did the lore of they watched played night 6 and they saw Golden Freddy. People freaked out. They were like, oh my god, it's Golden Freddy. Because the way he jump scares you is it's just his face. His face comes out to jump scare you, not his whole body. It's like, oh, thanks.
He's not a cryptid anymore.
Well, he's still he's still a teleporting crippled bastard, but he just jump scares you with his face and he doesn't crash your game.
That's nice, at least.
It's very nice of him. He's very considerate. But unfortunately, there were some other characters that decided, you know what, we can crash your game instead.
No.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So there were 2 other characters that, well, at least I think there's only one that does it. I don't know if the other one does. there were these things called the shadow animatronics, and they were there was a shadow Freddy and a shadow Bonnie. Both of them were extremely, extremely rare to find. Like, I think even rarer than finding Golden Freddy in FNAF 1. So the way to get Shadow Freddy is if everyone is gone in the back room where all the wizards sit, you can sometimes see him sitting there. He's looking at you, checking you out. What's up? And then Shadow Bonnie would appear in the office sometimes, and I believe he's the one that can crash your game. But if you look at him too long, so I think you just gotta I think it's either you put your mask on or we pull your camera up. Done, sorted. And then there was another character.
Terrible, you know.
There was another character called the endoskeleton, and that one's I think kind of an Easter egg or something, because he'll just appear where the puppet hides with their camera, and then the endoskeleton goes into the vent, but they never come out to see you or jump scare you or anything. They're just there like, hi, hello. So it's like, alright. Very tall endoskeleton as well. Like, it was massive. So
I kind of remember the endoskeleton now that you're mentioning it.
Yeah, people like it was a big thing when people found him. They're like, "Whoa, this is cool." So
this is cool and also very, very creepy.
Yeah, I'd hate that. I'm looking through the cameras and I'd see a metal endoskeleton running around. Like, what the fuck? This? I have enough to deal with.
Hey guys, put this back in the suit, please.
I'm a bit naked. Could you just
I'm a bit
give
naked.
me a minute?
Give me a minute. I'm a bit naked. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find my suit.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen Freddy anywhere?
And then I think there was one more other Easter egg of there was a little rare case that you got because you had Balloon Boy, and then you had like a purple and blue Balloon Boy sitting under the desk, and people thought it had pink eyes, so people referred to it as like female Balloon Boy. I think people gave it the nickname JJ, which, fun fact, became an actual character later in the series.
Oh.
Like, it was just an Easter egg, and then I guess people were like, JJ! And Scott's like, okay!
Yep.
He's very considerate when we come up with nicknames for some characters. He's like, right, I'll put that in. Like, little mini fun fact with the Freddles in FNAF 4, the little mini Freddies. We call those Freddles. They didn't have a name. And someone said, hey, can we call these Freddles? And Scott's like, yeah!
Sure, why not?
Yeah, it's like, that's so sweet. So.
That is really sweet. That's so cute.
Right? It's adorable. Oh, alright, so it's time to get into the lore. What is this FNAF 2? What's going on? How is Phone Guy alive? Well, this game is set in November of 1987, which shows that it would be set before FNAF 1. The evidence that shows this is the paycheck at the end of the night. It reads that very date, and after night 6, a newspaper explains the place would be closing and how the older models would be reused and moved into a smaller location, in which FNAF 1 was definitely smaller. So, yeah, FNAF 2 was a prequel! Whoa! So, Phone Guy is dead.
Oh!
Right? So, like, obviously there's no... Darn it, he gone. So,
No!
So obviously there's still an unmarked year for FNAF 1, but like I said last episode, it's been theorized it was set at least in the 90s. And, you know, with this newspaper clipping showing that the older models be reused within a smaller location, I mean, pretty obvious that, I think it's pretty obvious that, that it's a prequel. People went nuts. when they learned it was a prequel story. They're like, oh my god! So, I mean, those good old FNAF 1 models have been hanging around a bit longer. So.
Oh my gosh.
Another obvious piece of evidence is Phone Guy himself. He was murdered in FNAF 1, so it would have been very strange for him to survive. And he says he would be taking the night shift, and in FNAF 1, he said he was finishing his week. So, you know.
That's right.
He says that he would take over, and then in FNAF 1, he said he was finishing. So, you know. Some other pieces of evidence that this is set before FNAF 1 is that the robots are allowed to walk during the day, and in FNAF 1 they are no longer allowed due to the bite of 87. Yeah. So yeah, specifically in the I think night 1, Phone Guy says, yeah, they can walk around during the day, and I was like, wait. I remember when that first happened, people were like, wait, what? what happened? What about the bite? So.
Yeah, actually, that was something that I was kind of jumbled up about when I first played it too.
Yeah, well now you know it's a prequel.
That makes so much more sense now. I never really thought about it going through. I was just like, oh, new Phone Guy? Oh, they walk around now in the morning? Sick. They learn nothing.
They learned nothing.
Right?
Yeah, but yeah, it was a prequel story. So that's how that's how it all came to be. So, speaking of the bite of 87, many people believe that FNAF 2 was the year the bite happened. The likely candidate was Mangle at the time, though, you know, could be Foxy, you know. So, so yeah, so how this went about was night 6 happens, and maybe I've written it in here later down the track, but basically, when it happens, night 6 happens, and Phone Guy's getting mad at you. He's like, why are you there? The place is closed down for a little bit because there's been some issues happening there. And he goes like, oh, freaking, we had a spare in the back, a yellow one, someone used it. Now none of them are acting right. So someone used a yellow suit, and now shit's gone down. So they were trying to close it down for investigations. And then your stupid ass decides to hang out in night 6. And so Phone Guy's like, right, finish your night, and then we're going to put you into day shift, and you have a birthday party to attend. And then people think that's when the bite happened, during that birthday party. And they believe that it was Jeremy, us. They believed it was us. People think it was us, Jeremy, that got the bite. So, yeah. Very interesting.
That's really interesting.
It is.
Yeah.
When it first happened, we were like, oh my god, someone's used a yellow suit. This was a very actually interesting topic because obviously, you know, we already knew about a missing children's incident that happened. You know, 5 kids have already gone missing. There's always been a debate if the toys have kids stuffed inside them. I'm on the side where no, I do not believe they are possessed by children. I believe it is like they said, facial recognition software that has gone wrong, and now they're just aggressive. Because they're out there supposed to be protecting predators. If they see someone that is in the criminal database, they like, you know, alert, predator, you know, shit like that. So, but that was always a weird thing where it's like, why has someone used a yellow suit? And now why is none of the robots acting right when they already were kind of acting a bit weird? Because they started becoming more aggressive, you know? And then Golden Freddy's coming out the same night. He is a yellow suit. Like, there's some suspicious things happening. So. So.
On top of that, it makes you wonder, why would someone want to tamper with the animatronics in the first place?
Yeah.
Why would they want to fiddle with the facial recognition?
Yeah, I thought it was always a weird thing.
Lots of questions.
So, we were introduced to 2 new characters. Balloon Boy, he was the most hated character, of course, and the marionette or the puppet. We'll talk more about the puppet a bit later on. So, yeah, it has 2 nicknames. People call it either the puppet or the marionette. So, you can go 2 ways with it. While we were introduced newer toy models of the Core 3, our fox friend was a lot more different, being only named the Mangle. Now, before we get into this discussion, Mangle has had a gender debate since the beginning. Mangle has had a, different sort of thing, because Mangle has lipstick, rosy cheeks, eyelashes, eyeshadow. So you would go, oh, then that has to be a girl. However, during the phone calls that Phone Guy says, Phone Guy calls the Mangle a boy, gives it he pronouns.
Oh.
So, it's very weird. So I don't know what happened with that, either, because obviously later down the track we see Funtime Foxy, and Funtime Foxy looks exactly the same as Mangle, but is also referred to as a boy as well, sometimes also even referred to as a girl. So lots of people have had this debate. People have asked him, what's Mangle's gender, and he's literally replied back with yes, because he's such a troll. He's like, yes. So,
I guess that's our answer then.
Yeah, yes. So people like to say that Mangle is a non-binary, they, them. I'm going to go down the track as calling Mangle a boy, because in the newest encyclopedia book, every single time, because normally during descriptions of Mangle, Scott will always use he and she just for trolls, but I kid you not, I read that encyclopedia page of Mangle so many times, and every pronoun that was used, it was a he. So, every time. So I will be calling Mangle a he. People can get mad at me as much as they want, but look, take it up with the man, okay? I read the book. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, we're just following the lore here.
Yeah, but obviously, if you guys can call Mangle a girl, whatever you want, I don't care. I'm just calling Mangle a boy, because, yeah, the book said so, okay? I don't care. I'm going by encyclopedia. Oh, okay, so.
Here.
The Mangle is an interesting character, as when you find him, he's laying on the ground all broken. This is due to him being ripped apart by children all the time, that the staff gave up on repairing him and nicknamed him the Take Apart and Put Back Together attraction. What a horrible freaking attraction name, right? Freaking, I would hate to just freaking be pulled apart and together and all this shit. And
I don't like it. I don't like it.
I don't like it either. The poor
It's just
thing.
cool.
He's
Poor
so,
Mangle.
right. Mangle. This is why Mangle's more aggressive. It doesn't deserve that. Cause yeah, you have Mangle's hands in weird places. He hangs around on the roof and stuff. He even has a second head that sits on his shoulder, and people think that was a parrot, like a pirate parrot.
Oh, that would make sense.
Yeah,
it just looks like Mangle is so broken and scraggly whenever you see them. Just, it's a mess.
It's a mess.
I feel so bad.
I know.
Agreed.
And here's the thing: why is Mangle the one getting pulled apart and shit specifically? What about the rest of them? And
right?
If they're so easy to pull apart and shit, what the fuck kind of material are they using?
Play-Doh.
Sounds good to me.
That's it, solved. That's it. Theory solved. We're gonna sign you up for game theory.
All right, we cracked the case.
Yeah. Oh.
Yay.
So, Mangle is also the main suspect for causing the bite of 87. Not much evidence suggests it was him, except that he has a large enough jaw to bite the frontal lobe. Now, Balloon Boy doesn't have much lore. The only lore that we had for Balloon Boy was that sometimes when you looked inside his mouth, you saw two little circles in his mouth, and people thought those were eyes. And that there were two running theories that one, that's a kid, or two, that was that's where the endoskeleton sat, which I thought was a bit weird for an endoskeleton to sit that low. So, yeah, never really talked about with Balloon Boy, but our good old friend, the marionette, has a little bit of gossip, a little bit of tea. So, the phone guy states that while Foxy was always his favorite, he never liked that puppet thing, is what he called him. As he states, it's always thinking. Yeah, he didn't like it.
Oh.
He's like, I'll be honest, I never liked that puppet thing. It's always thinking and it can go anywhere. It was like, oh. At this time though, you never really notice what he's saying, because I think this is in night 2, and like you're too busy focusing on like 5 things.
Yeah.
But like you go back and you hear him say that and you're like, wait, what? Thinking? What do you mean?
That's a very interesting choice of words. Care to elaborate?
Yeah, would you like to tell me more?
I'm listening.
Oh, goodness.
Thinking about what?
Yeah, right? So yeah, night 2, Phone Guy mentions you would have seen the older models in the back room. They were now mainly used for parts to use on the toys. However, Phone Guy mentions older models. This means that there was another restaurant before FNAF 2, which is very true.
Oh.
During the game, Phone Guy mentions there was a restaurant that was abandoned and left to rot in night 1. There is no game set in that restaurant as of right now. However, we believe we know what year that restaurant was set in. We'll talk more about that later.
Oh.
So, that's not all. Phone Guy mentions in the game that there was a place even before that one on night 5 being called Fredbear's Family Diner. Nothing about more is said about this place, even to this day. And there's not really a game about it either. So, yeah. So there's 2 restaurants at least. So we've got an older location that sounds like it's been left abandoned and left to rot. And then you've got Fredbear's Family Diner.
Fredbear's Family Diner, huh?
It sounds cute. I'm gonna go. We'll see what happens.
You're gonna go to
All right.
Yeah.
All right, everyone.
Are you gonna go to an abandoned location? Let's pull out the paranormal shit.
Exactly. You understand me.
Right. So
I'll bring the fine china.
Another interesting thing that I thought was I don't think I've written it in here, but there was in Phone Guy he mentions that you're working for a summer job. However, when you get the pay slip, it reads November. I don't know about you, but I don't think summer happens in November anywhere in the world. So,
Nope.
People believe
It's a passing season, no matter what.
Yeah, it's I believe here November's in spring, and in America, which is where FNAF's actually set, I believe it's set in autumn. So
yes.
people believe, and I heavily agree with this too, those tapes are pre-recorded.
Oh, absolutely.
My problem with that, though, at the very least, the first one could be, but the thing is, when Phone Guy brings up, the stuff like, oh, Foxy's always been my favorite, I don't like that puppet thing, it's always been thinking, and then all the drama with the later nights with the place closing down and all that, I don't think all of them are pre-recorded. Maybe the first one, but if that were the case, then the other the other voicemails contradict it. So,
oh, I see.
So obviously it could either be that's just maybe Scott just said it wrong. He did that wrong and didn't realize until later on, or there is something more about it, but we don't know. So, yeah.
Considering how he is, I find that hard to believe.
Yeah.
That it was, a mistake.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. I'm not quite I really don't know what was going on with that one. So, but that was the running theory, that they're pre-recorded, which I could believe if everything else in the voicemails contradicted it. So, yeah. Right. Now, the way the lore is shown in this game is how the game got so popular. Rare times when you die, you'll see an Atari-style minigame. During these minigames, we learn that there are more than meets the eye in this franchise. Ooh. Freaking... It was... When they started happening, people were freaking the hell out. They were like, what the heck? Because, you're trying to get over the fact that you just died, and then you get this weird-ass minigame in your face, and you're like, what is this? So...
exactly.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so, we're going to talk about all of them. There's at least 3 or 4, so, yeah.
Do they only happen when you die?
Yes. Only when you die.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm. It's very interesting. Okay, so, one of them is called Take Cake to Children. It shows a kid sitting outside a restaurant crying, while inside, Freddy is on his own, trying to make kids happy. We watch as a purple car turns up with a purple figure coming out of it, killing the child. At the end, the puppet jump scares us. So, it's theorized that the kid standing outside was the child who goes on to possess the puppet. During the minigame, there's some letters that are spelt in a weird-ass voice, but you can mimic it out. It says SAVEHIM. Save him. So, yeah. Very, very interesting. So, we watched a murder, guys! And we just witnessed it as poor Freddy! What's Freddy supposed to do?
Oh, no!
So exciting.
Yeah, like Freddy's just trying to make kids happy by feeding kids bloody cupcakes, and then you just watch a murder happen with this purple man. Like, what the heck?
Oh gosh.
It was
well,
like,
that
horrible.
explains a lot.
Yeah, and the way they did it in 8-bit style, you have this kid crying, and then the kid looks up, and the eyes get wider and wider, and the tears start coming down, and then it turns grey, which means grey child means dead. So, like, oh, horrible. Another mini game called Foxy Go Go Go. We play as Foxy and run to the right into another room with 5 kids celebrating. You must do this twice. However, the third time, once again, our purple guy appears, smiling. When Foxy runs to the right, all the children are dead, and it ends with Foxy's jump scare. So lovely! So we just found 5 children murdered. There was an interesting thing actually with this purple guy. So in this minigame, purple guy looked pink, and people started calling him Pink Guy, and people thought there were 2 killers, a purple guy and a pink guy. That was debunked in the later Freddy Files, where it is purple guy. It was just a weird color code thingy, but it's so funny how like the two prettiest and bright colors are like evil.
Oh yeah. Now that you mention it, that's true. And purple is such a nice color too.
Mm-hmm.
It's not usually associated with, a murderer.
Yes. So Scott said that he used purple because he couldn't use black on black, so he used a different shade.
Oh.
And I guess purple looked the nicest. So, yeah.
Fair, and I agree.
It's a beautiful color. Okay, so another mini game called Give Gifts, Give Life showed us playing as the puppet. During it, we are surrounded by 4 dead children. The text reads, "Give gifts." So, as the puppet, we move to each child, giving them a gift. We then go back to the center of the room, and the text now reads, "Give life." The puppet this time puts each child into one of the suits, implying that they are being stuffed into the suits. Throughout the minigame, we hear the words spelt out, HELPTHEM, say help them. The game ends with Golden Freddy's jump scare. However, looking very closely before the jump scare, we see a 5th body appear right before the jump scare. Right, so yeah, right when we're putting on the last suit, like putting on the last suit on a kid, right before the jump scare, you can see a child sitting in the center of the room, and Golden Freddy comes out and jump scares you. So,
Golden Freddy.
yeah, he decides he's going to come out and say hello by the end. So yeah, so that implies that kids were stuffed into Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, Golden Freddy, and so yeah, 5 kids have been stuffed in suits. There was actually a debate on who actually stuffed the kids in the suits, because you had apparently the purple guy doing it, but then you have this mini game of the puppet doing it. So it's like, wait, which one actually did it? So,
like who is who?
yeah. So people at the time were like, oh, Puppet's trying to do his job. He's trying to give gifts to kids. That ain't working. I'm gonna just put the kids in the suits. I thought that was really random, and I was like, wait, what? But if by this point the puppet has already been possessed by the child, by that child that was murdered outside, then they were like, well, I gotta give these kids some life, and I'm just gonna do the same way that happened with me, I guess, and just possess the suit, something like that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the only way.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's that would be an
I feel
interesting
like at
thing.
that point,
Mm.
yeah. Sorry to interrupt.
No, no, you're
feeling like, though at that point, I don't know if it was something that was confirmed or not. It probably, if that was the case, it was probably I have to get them first before he gets them next.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yes, very, very interesting. Right, so the final minigame is simply called Save Them. You play as Freddy and follow the puppet. This minigame is very popular because there are actually different endings with this one. If you follow the puppet to a room, the game will cut to static and end. If you don't follow the puppet and go to a different room, you can find Golden Freddy. Touching him results in the same ending as said before. There are also dead bodies around the place, and touching them will have the same ending. Once again, we hear the letters, save them, so same as before. Freddy can spawn in different rooms. You can spawn in a party room, the office, and parts and service. You can find Toy Freddy, Bonnie and Chica on stage, while you can find Mangle in a different room, moving around strangely enough. Touching him and the game will end in red static. Which was very strange, because why is Mangle already moving around when, murders have just happened? Why is Mangle moving around already? Excuse me?
Yeah, that one's confusing too.
Yeah, and it's never explained again. No one knows why. No one can explain it. Like, Mangle's just there. It's like, okay, sure, let's go with that. Oh, now, very rare cases, you can encounter Purple Guy. He will run to you, and if he touches you, your game will turn to blue static with the words at the bottom of the screen saying, "You can't," depicting a response to the letters being spelt out before. So, like, you know how it says, "Save them," but he goes, "You can't," and the game crashes. You cannot run away from Purple Guy, and it is the only minigame without a jump scare. So, Purple Guy is also holding a weird thing in his hand, which I'll get into about that a bit later, shortly. But he literally comes towards you with this freaking weird ass thing, and you're like, "What the heck, dude? What the fuck?" Like, okay, sure, let's whatever. So yeah.
Alright then, guess that's what happens.
Yeah. So these mini games are interesting because it explains pretty much what happened to the children. They were lured into a back room, killed by Purple Guy. Now, in these mini games, Purple Guy is holding something. It is a tool that tampers with the robots, which could explain why the robots are acting strange in FNAF 2 at a certain point. So, you know, sort of thing. Phone Guy also mentions a yellow suit being used in Night 6, which explains the FNAF 1 newspapers saying a mascot costume was used to lure the kids. One other theory is that the puppet was the first kid to ever be killed due to how it was during its minigame, which is giving the dead kids gifts and putting them in the suits. So, interesting thing actually with this whole Phone Guy, Purple Guy holding something. We thought it was Phone Guy because Purple Guy was holding this thing that looked like a phone. We honestly thought Phone Guy equals Purple Guy, which was our big theory for so long, and it sounded so nice on paper because Phone Guy knew so much shit. He knew so much. It was like, you know too much. And then you had this freaking Purple Guy that had this weird ass looking phone. It looked like a phone in his hand. So it was a very interesting theory, but obviously it was debunked. I can't remember exactly how it was debunked, but I think it was the fact that, you know, well, obviously Purple Guy is talked about more later down the track, you know, down the series, and obviously he no longer is just existing, you know, but yeah, it's just a tool or a hand crank, whatever, that tampers with them, and just now could be why they're all angry. So so those cutscenes that we got earlier, when I talked about way earlier, which was when you'd open the game and you had Freddy looking left and right, you see Bonnie and Chica. One of them had the puppet. Not much is really known about these scenes. Like, we don't know if they're supposed to be a flashback or a vision to the future, but it was theorized that the puppet was meant to be in FNAF 1. So, or the puppet has been around longer than at least FNAF 2. So, but yeah, they're just these weird ass moments that never gets explained. And it's like, is this a flashback? Is it a vision? And like, what's the puppet doing here in this weird ass location? So, yeah, that pretty much sums up as much lore as I could remember in FNAF 2. Obviously, like I said, with the 1020 mode, you played as Fred Smith, and you got fired for the same reasons. So, tampering and odor. Same within FNAF 1. I actually did go back and checked that pink slip. There is no name on FNAF 1's pink slip, but it's just interesting that it's the same reasons again. So, yeah. So, you guys can throw your questions at me now. Throw them at me. If you've got any.
So basically, they're once again fired for tampering with the animatronics, general unprofessionalism, and odor.
Yep.
So they're still, tampering with them, but also they suck and they're stinky.
Yeah. They're stinky.
How do they not look deep inside and are like, there's some in here.
Because Phasma Entertainment are stupid. They are incredibly dumb. I have learnt over the years.
Can't even be like, oh, I'm gonna go. Oh, there's a body in here.
Oh.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
They really thought, oh, children are murdered here. Let's take our animatronics and just put them somewhere else. That'll fix it.
Yeah.
The thing is,
and they're getting murdered.
For some reason, they never knew that kids got murdered. They just knew that kids have gone missing here. So it's like,
oh, that's right.
And I'm like, you couldn't check the cameras? You could have found something. So
yeah,
very weird, but I think it gets explained more as to why it was never really known, because in the games it's never said that the kids are no one knew that the kids were actually murdered. Everyone just got weirded out by the place because kids went missing. So,
yeah, kids went missing, and then the animatronics were stinky and gross.
Yes, I wouldn't want to be there either.
No.
I still don't get why the correlation wasn't made. Like, kids went missing. I wonder why our stuff is suddenly stinky and gross and mucusy.
Right? Like, you didn't think to like they said, they didn't clean those goddamn robots for freaking 20 years.
Disgusting.
So nasty.
That just says to you there that kids have been in those suits for at least 20 years. That just says to you right
and
there.
And then put into a different pizzeria?
Right. So they get taken, so they have in one pizzeria, they get taken to FNAF 2's location, and then they get to the FNAF 1's location. They're still stinky.
Still haven't cleaned them.
And they're broken down now. You would think they would see inside better.
Right?
No.
Like, hello,
Yeah.
Bonnie doesn't have a face. You can look in there, my guy.
Oh my gosh.
So
to be fair, I would also be too afraid to look in there, so
yeah, you know what? Considering they're possessed at this point, like, I mean, I've seen the movie. I don't want to get eaten. I don't want to get chomped in half.
oh yeah. Yeah, not pleasant. Nope.
Nope. No, thank you. Bye. So.
Exactly.
I'm good. See you.
But yes, you guys got any questions at all?
Oh, it's I guess I don't know how to phrase this as a question, but I found it interesting that the only ones that made it to the other pizzeria, according to the lore, are specifically the 5 that we saw in FNAF 1.
Yeah, the originals, as we call they're the Wizards, but they are FNAF 1s. So yeah.
Yeah, those were the ones that made it to the pizzeria. So that definitely leaves you to wonder what happened with the toys.
So
they didn't make it to 1.
Yeah, so the toys got scrapped.
Okay.
In the newspaper clippings, that's something I forgot to mention. They were scrapped because of, they didn't really say why, but I would assume because of just how bad the facial recognition software completely failed. So
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
but yeah, honestly, when FNAF 2 happens and the toys get scrapped, in that future you never see them again. That's it. That is the only game you see them in.
It's a shame. They were kind of cute.
They are cute.
Right.
They're very cute.
Yeah.
Very sweet. But yeah, well, really, you don't see them again until technically UCN. So that's the next time we see them.
Justice for Mangle.
Is Mangle your favorite? Is Mangle your favorite?
I have a soft spot for Mangle. Mangle deserved better.
Mangle did deserve better. Like, oh,
Honestly.
he's still so weird. Like, why the fuck is he walking around when kids aren't even like before any suit has been possessed by a robot? Like, what the heck?
Yeah. My immediate thought was the poor bean was desperate. Like, please fix me. I'm broken.
Please fix me. Like, Mangle's already broken by this point. Fix me.
Please fix me. Ah. Oh.
Yeah, just very strange. So
A whole new definition of I can fix him.
I can fix him.
I can fix him. Yeah.
I can
That's
fix
what
him.
the kids do it.
Oh no.
Yeah, he's very weird. Lots of stuff really in FNAF 2. It feels like it doesn't get explained, I feel like obviously I said the other restaurants that were mentioned, like there are still no games with them. They never really get talked about again. There could be a game that might be the restaurant, but I personally don't think so because of what happens in FNAF 4. I don't think it's the restaurant that was abandoned and left to rot sort of shit. So honestly, how many restaurants were there actually? How many times did they fail?
They never mentioned, in at least the first two games, they've never mentioned how many locations they have.
Honestly, we don't even know how many locations there are at this point.
Oh boy. Infinitesimal.
Yeah. They just had a lot of money. So
That's crazy too. You would think that with the number of disappearances that the lawsuits alone would have done away with that, but they're still there.
Yep. Very much so. Well, yeah. If y'all don't have any other questions, we can end the episode.
I can't think of anything else.
I don't think I can think of anything either. I've played too much.
You guys just need to go. You guys need to play FNAF 2.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see the rest for ourselves, I suppose.
See you all next week.
Yeah. So, well, yeah. So, next episode will be about FNAF 3, the infamous one, which was supposed to be the last one, but obviously that is no longer the case. So, yeah, FNAF 3 was supposed to be the finale, but, you know, things happened, and there's a couple more.
There will always be another FNAF. FNAF is inevitable now.
Yeah. But FNAF 3 is one of my personal favorites. I love this one so much. So I cannot wait to talk about this one. So it's gonna be good.
Endless.
But yes, other than that,
So exciting.
thank y'all for watching this episode, and we will see you guys in the next episode for Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Thank you guys. So yeah.
Bye, everyone.